Hey, bold and beautiful fans. We have got some absolutely juicy spoilers for the 2 weeks of June 8th through the 19th, with Liam Spencer finally hitting a breaking point and Steffy Forrester making a power move that nobody saw coming. Plus, Thomas is doing everything he possibly can to get Hope back in his corner, and we're going to break all of that down day by day. I'm Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are diving deep into the latest spoilers for June 8th through the 19th, including Ridge being blindsided, Brooke pulling strings behind the scenes, and a brand new rivalry that is already getting really messy. But before we get into any of that, please click that subscribe button if you are not already following us. You do not want to miss a single episode. Alright, let's get into it. Monday, June 8th, we are kicking things off with a huge moment between Steffy and Finn. These two have been navigating some really rocky terrain lately, and right now things are reaching a genuinely emotional boiling point. Finn has been feeling completely sidelined, not just professionally but personally, and he's had just about enough of being the last one to know anything that's going on under his own roof. Steffy, meanwhile, is operating in full damage control mode, and she's juggling so many secrets right now that it's only a matter of time before one of them detonates. On Monday, Finn confronts Steffy about something she told him that he now suspects was not entirely the truth. He's not screaming, he's not throwing things. It's worse than that.
He's calm.
And when Finn gets quiet and still like that, you know that something has genuinely shifted for him. Bold fans are going to have a lot of feelings about this scene because honestly, Finn deserves so much better and a lot of the audience is firmly in his corner right now. Also on Monday, Ridge gets some news about the Forrester Creations runway lineup, and he is not happy about what he's hearing. There's been a lot of internal tension over whose designs are getting the spotlight, and Ridge has strong opinions as he always does. He is not the kind of man who sits back quietly when he feels like his creative vision is being undermined, and this week he is going to make that very, very clear. Brooke, meanwhile, is trying to keep the peace, or at least her version of keeping the peace, which usually involves inserting herself into the middle of everything and making it slightly more chaotic than it was before she got involved. I say that with love for Brooke, honestly, because she genuinely means well most of the time. But she's also a woman who cannot help herself, and Monday's episode is going to show us exactly that. Tuesday, June 9th, and things are escalating fast. Hope and Thomas have a conversation that has been building for weeks and weeks, and it finally happens. Now, I want to be clear, this is not a romantic reunion scene, at least not on the surface. But there is so much subtext crackling between these two that it might as well be. Thomas tells Hope something that genuinely surprises her, and we're going to have to wait and see whether it surprises her in a good way or a terrifying way. Knowing Thomas, it could honestly go either direction. What I will say is that the writing on this particular story thread has been really interesting lately because they are not rushing it, and I actually appreciate that. Also on Tuesday, Bill Spencer is on the warpath again, and honestly, when is he not? Bill has gotten wind of some information that he feels directly threatens the Spencer family's business interests, and he is calling in every favor he has. Wyatt is being pulled into the orbit of whatever plan Bill is cooking up, and Wyatt looks genuinely torn about it. Wyatt Spencer is one of those characters who always wants to do the right thing but keeps getting sucked back into his father's chaos, and Tuesday's episode is going to show that push and pull in a really vivid way. Liam, meanwhile, is backing Bill up, which, look, complicated doesn't even begin to cover it, given everything that has happened between these three men over the years. But family is family on this show, apparently, even when family has absolutely done you dirty on multiple occasions. Wednesday, June 10th, we have got Steffy going on the offensive, and it is quite a sight to behold. When Steffy decides she is done being reactive and starts being proactive, things tend to get very interesting very quickly. She is going to confront someone at Forrester this week, and the smart money says it's connected to what she suspects is going on with Hope's sudden return to the picture. Steffy has never exactly welcomed Hope back with open arms, and right now she has very specific reasons to be on high alert. She is going to ask some pointed questions, and she is going to expect real answers, and the person she's talking to is going to have a very hard time giving her those answers without accidentally revealing something they shouldn't. Also Wednesday, Carter is navigating what can only be described as an extremely delicate situation involving his professional loyalties and his personal ones. Carter has always been the guy who tries to do everything by the book, but this show has a way of putting him in scenarios where the book is completely useless, and he just has to improvise. We're seeing a lot of that right now. He has information that multiple parties want, and he is trying to figure out the right thing to do with it. I genuinely feel for Carter because he is a good man who keeps getting caught in the crossfire of other people's terrible decisions. Thursday, June 11th, and Ridge is having a full existential crisis about where things stand with Brooke. Now, before anyone panics, this is not necessarily a Bridge is ending moment. It's more of a Ridge is staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning wondering if he is the man she actually needs moment. Which, if we're being honest, is a very Ridge thing to do. He processes everything by brooding magnificently and having intense conversations in dimly lit rooms, and Thursday is going to give us plenty of that. Brooke, for her part, has her own doubts swirling right now, and the question is whether these two are going to talk to each other about those doubts or whether they're going to do the thing they always do, which is talk around each other until something explodes. Also on Thursday, there is a really interesting development with one of the newer characters that I think the audience is going to have strong reactions to. Someone is going to do something that appears, on the surface, to be a genuinely kind and generous gesture, but there is something underneath it that does not quite sit right. I am being deliberately vague here because I do not want to give too much away, but pay close attention to the body language in this scene because the show is definitely planting seeds for something bigger. Friday, June 12th, closes out the first week with a bombshell that has been building all week. Finn makes a decision that is going to change the dynamic at the Forrester-Finnegan household in a major way. This is not a dramatic storming out the door moment. It's actually more understated than that, and I think that's going to make it hit harder. When a character who has been endlessly patient and endlessly giving finally draws a quiet line in the sand, it means something. It means they have thought about it, they have weighed it, and they have decided. And Finn has decided something this week that Steffy is not going to see coming. Also on Friday, we are getting more movement on the Thomas and Hope story, and the preview images for this episode are genuinely interesting. They are not in a romantic setting, they are actually in a pretty mundane location, which somehow makes the scene feel more real and more loaded than it would if they were standing on some moonlit terrace somewhere. Sometimes the most charged conversations on this show happen in the most ordinary places, and this Friday is a perfect example of that. Now for the week of June 15th through the 19th, and things are really going to start accelerating as we head toward what is shaping up to be a major midsummer storyline. Let me walk you through what we are expecting. The fallout from Finn's decision is going to ripple through the entire Forrester family network this week. Steffy is going to lean on her support system hard, and that means Taylor is going to be back in the picture in a significant way. Now, Taylor has been navigating her own complicated feelings about Ridge for a while now, and being pulled back into the center of Steffy's drama is going to put her in proximity to Ridge in ways that are going to be very, very interesting to watch. I am not saying anything is going to happen. I am just saying proximity is a powerful thing on this show, and the writers know exactly what they are doing. Hope and Thomas's story is going to take a turn this week that is going to divide the fanbase right down the middle. There is something that Thomas tells Hope, or maybe something that Hope discovers about Thomas, that is going to make her question everything she thought she had figured out about where she stands. And the thing is, the show has been doing a really smart job of making Thomas genuinely seem like he has changed, which means this new development is either going to prove that he has or reveal that the change was not as complete as everyone hoped. Either way, it is going to be compelling television. Bill Spencer is going to be absolutely relentless this week. Whatever plan he has been cooking up through the first week, he is going to kick it into high gear during the week of the 15th, and Wyatt and Liam are going to have to decide how deep in they are willing to go. Wyatt is the wild card here. Liam will follow Bill to the ends of the earth as long as Bill frames it correctly, but Wyatt has always had a stronger independent streak, and this week he is going to push back on something, and it is going to create real tension between him and his father. Darren Brooks has been fantastic lately, by the way, really bringing a lot of nuance to Wyatt's push and pull with the Spencer legacy. Brooke is going to be dealing with the consequences of the Katie situation in ways that go beyond just the two of them. The slap has become something of a symbol for a much bigger rift in the Logan family, and Donna is caught right in the middle of it, trying to hold everyone together with sheer force of optimism and a lot of worry. Donna does not have a mean bone in her body, and watching her try to navigate between Brooke and Katie when both of them are in full battle mode is going to be genuinely heartbreaking. She just wants her family intact, and the show is going to let us sit with how painful that is for her. The fashion world storyline is building towards something big. Katie is going to make a move at the end of this 2-week block that is going to reframe her entire arc for the summer. Whatever she has been building to, with the designs, with the business maneuvering, with the way she has been quietly stacking pieces into place, it is about to come into focus. And the people who underestimated her, which is frankly everyone, are going to have to reckon with the fact that Katie Logan Spencer has been 10 steps ahead this whole time. Ridge is going to have at least one major scene this week where he has to genuinely grapple with who he is and what he wants, and it is the kind of scene that Torsten K does absolutely beautifully. Ridge is not always the most sympathetic character in the world. He can be insufferable, he can be self-righteous, he can be infuriating, but when the show slows down and lets him be genuinely vulnerable, it is always worth watching. This week is going to give us one of those moments, and I am genuinely looking forward to it. There is also something brewing with a character who has been operating in the background for the last few weeks who is about to step into the foreground in a really significant way. I think the show is setting up a confrontation that has been a long time coming, and the week of June 15th is going to start pulling that thread in earnest. Overall, these 2 weeks are shaping up to be some of the most eventful we have had in a while. There is action on almost every storyline simultaneously, which does not always happen. Sometimes the show focuses really heavily on 1 or 2 threads and lets the others go quiet for a stretch. But right now it feels like every character has somewhere to be and something at stake, and that is genuinely exciting.